Right, so Matthew's Gospel again, and this time going into what are referred to as the 6 antithesis. Those 6 sayings, there are 5 actually, but they group them in 6, where Jesus says, you've heard in the past, and he's picking up a particular part of the 10 Commandments, and saying, you've heard in the past that you must do this, well now I tell you this. And behind all of them is that sense of looking deeper than just ticking boxes and fulfilling laws. He'd said to the disciples just before those readings that unless you're more tenacious, more fanatical about fulfilling every element of your religious conviction than the Pharisees and the scribes, you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven. And he didn't mean by that rules and regulations. He meant the motivation behind all these things. It's what's in your heart. You can do things by rote, you can do things by obligation, but to have the right heart is the key thing. And this is what ties us in, of course, to our foundational statement of the Great Commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your soul, and love your neighbour as yourself. That's to have God's priorities at the centre of your own life, because then everything you do and say is motivated by that desire to witness to God and to be salt and light, as we talked about last week, to all the world, to show to the world those highest of values of unity, of acceptance, of universal love, and of kindness to all, regardless of who they are or where they are. This is the demand that unconditional love places upon us. We profess good news. There is no obligation in that. To receive something of wonder is a source of joy always, and something that you want to share. And it's as simple as that. The good news of Jesus is that we're all loved by the God who made all things. The greatest source of power and joy you can ever imagine. Owns you, loves you, will never ever let you go. You can choose to ignore it, but that doesn't change the fact that God will never, ever let you go. You are always, always loved. And that is just the most joyous thing. That is the most liberating thing. That's why we call it good news. And it is our obligation, those of us who have sensed that in our hearts, to share that with other people and to make that real. That's all our tasks. And we must approach it with that same level of fanaticism and tact, of course. But unconditional love has been shown to us, and as we sang in one of the songs, freely, freely we have received, freely, freely give.